getting old is lackadaisical, and as a kid, you really think that once you get old, once you're an adult, you're gonna be free. But what you failed to realize as a child is you were free. Free of responsibility, free of worry, free of debt. And yeah, of course you were constricted as a child by a lot of things. You can't drive a car. You can't really have an income, right? But what we fail to realize as kids is that the limits that were placed on us are a lot more bearable than the limits that are placed on you as an adult. And as a grown man, you venture into the deep parts of your mind and you try to figure out why you're mentally enslaved, right? And only the courageous are brave enough to go through the process needed to free themselves and actualize in a way that sets them apart from their troubles, worries, and all of these constructs that keep them in a limited belief system. The way we see in front of us as adults is a very narrow lens. We look at life through a keyhole. It's tiny. This is how we're seeing the world as adults, right? Imagine this eye doesn't exist. This is how we're looking. Through this small of an opening. But as kids, we have immense possibilities, infinite ways of looking at things, right? Who cares if it's logical? You didn't care as a kid. But as adults, we have to consider it. What is logical, right? We don't exercise our imagination. We don't exercise our creativity. We don't think we're free to exercise whimsical ideas. So we get stuck at looking through life through a tiny lens. And it's like you got blinders on and you can't see left or right. You can only see what's in front of you. I gotta pay my debt. I gotta pay my rent. I gotta pay the electric bill. I gotta pay this. I gotta pay insurance. I gotta make sure my car is fixed. I gotta blah 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 fucking blah. Like, we're just so single-mindedly focused on what's needing to be done, what's needing to be fixed. And it takes away your sense of wonder. Of course, it's I like to consider each side of the problem. I like to look at each side of the coin, because the argument that can be made is easy for you to say. You don't have to worry about your responsibilities. You don't have to worry about your responsibilities because you have the finances to deal with it, right? Yes, but at one time I can't say that I did, right? At some point I really didn't know where my next meal was going to come from. And look, I'm not here to try to solve your problems. I'm just here to talk, right? I just want to at least acknowledge the pain. I don't know what the solution is, but I just want to let you know that you're not in it by yourself. I think we get stuck in a way of thinking that is not beneficial to us. And we think that our problems are special, that our needs are different, that we're unique, that nobody else is like us, which in a genetic coded manner, yes, that's true. But the problems that you face have been going on since before you were born, right? These aren't new problems that are, hurting you only. They're hurting several other people. So once you strip that away and you just look a person in the eye and you realize that this is the person that I'm looking at that has their own needs, their own desires, their own ambitions, their own dreams, yet they're constricted by some of the same limiting beliefs, some of the same problems. They're worried about their bills, they're worried about their husband, they're worried about their wife, they're worried about their family. Acknowledge these things, right? Everything on the outside isn't what you see. There's so much more. There's layers. And you got to dive in deep. Number one, to yourself. Do the work on yourself. And by exploring your own state of being, your own issues, the dark side, you're able to bring light to those around you who don't know how to escape from it, right? So, yeah. It is Men's Mental Health Month in America, and I just want to say that you guys need to talk and really state what the problem is. I'm not saying you need to bitch and complain. And I'm not saying that it makes you weak. I'm saying you need to objectively look at what the issue is and figure out a way, right? The way that I've figured out is by not looking externally, not looking outside of me to solve what's going on inside of me. So, take of that what you will. And may God give you will enough to pay the bill. Cheers.